Hi, Instagram. I'm Jessica Perez-Beebe. Today on Facebook Live and here on IG, we're going to be talking about how to create momentum and motivation in your life and around your goals and dreams. So if you're somebody who is lacking motivation or momentum around whatever it is that you have declared for yourself or whatever it is that you want to achieve, then this is going to be a good a session for you. So we go live now every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 p.m. for you on the East Coast, and Central, you're somewhere in between, right? So as you're on Instagram and Facebook, type in the comments, if you will, what is a specific goal or dream that you have right now? Can you share that with me? I want to know what everybody's got going on. Right now, for me, I've got some specific business goals of the amount of people that I want to reach and impact. So I want to be able to directly work with 100 more people this year. And so that's my goal. And so I'm doing everything that I can to connect with people and to be of service. So I want to hear from you. What is a goal or dream that you have for yourself this year? Let me know so that I can support you. Put it in the comments so that I know what you've got going on. Let's see. Is that the best lighting I can do? Nobody's going to be brave in Facebook and share with me. I'm talking to you, Lewis Stimson. So I'm here on Facebook Live, but I like to turn on my IG as well so that you guys can join me. So my name is Jessica Perez-Beebe. I have been a coach for more than a decade. I help people achieve their goals. I help people create the life that they want to live. I help people unhook from the past so they can step into their present and really create what they want in their future. I help people transform specific areas of their life that they might feel stuck in, okay? And so today I want to help you around your goals. So type in the comments, what's a goal or dream that you have so that I can help support you through that on this call. And I'm going to pause for 1 second just so that I can look on this end. I cannot see who's on. Facebook does this to me a bunch. I see there's an eye with a number of people, but I can't see who it is. So type your name in the comments so that I know you're here. And if you are already typing in the comments and I can't see it, sorry. Okay, so let's dive right in. Okay, you want to lose weight, gain, you want abs. You have abs, so you want to lose some weight so you can see them, right? Okay. Hi, Starboard Tack. Great. Do you have any goals? Hi, Nisha. Nishaya, I think I'm saying it correctly. Any goals or dreams that you have, type it in the comments. So what I want to talk to you about is I speak to a lot of people who tell me, you know, when they started out with their goal, they were really excited, they were really motivated, and, you know, they had their plan going, they were going to the gym, or they were working towards whatever goal it was at work or in their business. Maybe they have a sales goal. Maybe they have a goal to eat better. Maybe you have a goal to, I don't know, walk 30 minutes every day. What are some goals you guys have? You got it. Thanks, Nishaya. That's a beautiful name. So people in the beginning are really excited about their goals, right? You got all that energy, you got all that motivation. Yes, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to stop drinking coffee, whatever it is. And you get going, you've got a little plan, and for a week or a couple days or even a couple months, you're on it, right? And then it drops off, right? Does that sound like anything that happens to you? Lewis, right? You want to lose weight. So what happens? Do you get started on a plan and then you fall off? Why haven't you lost weight? Or are you in the process? So one of the things that also happens with people is they have an idea of what they want to do, but they don't get started, right? So they want to lose the weight. They want to get in shape. They want to save more money or make more money or quit smoking or whatever it is, but they never get around to doing it. Does that sound like you? Hey, Bree. So here's something that I want to share with you. And I'm going to actually steal a quote or borrow a quote from someone that spoke at my mastermind this weekend. And he's brilliant. Michael Strasner is somebody I've been taking some training with. And he made a comment that I thought was so on point. He said, how does momentum start, right? So how do you get momentum? Momentum starts with no momentum, with zero momentum, right? It's not just going, right? The ball doesn't just start out rolling, right? Something has to move it into momentum. So you've got to create the momentum, right? So you've got to give it a little push. You've got to do something. You've got to take that first step. So in the beginning, there's no momentum. Then you take the first step and you get a little momentum. What Michael called it was you get mo. You get mo. Then as you keep going, you get the rest of it, right? You get the momentum. This is the same thing with motivation. The motivation to do something typically comes after you've already done it, right? So think about your workout. How many of you have mornings or evenings after work where you don't want to go to the gym? You just don't feel like it, right? There's every reason in the world that you could stay home, that you could skip the workout, that you could just bail. And they're all good reasons. You're tired, you're hungry, you've got to pick up your kids, you didn't sleep well, your foot hurts, whatever it is. But you decide to go and do the workout. What happens? At the end, you feel great, right? It gave you momentum. At the end of that, you get the momentum, you get the motivation to come back and do it again tomorrow. But it doesn't start out like that. You know, for a few years, about 2.5 years, I competed in bikini physique competitions. And as you can imagine, I was on a very strict training schedule, at some points twice a day, right? On top of a regimented eating program and all of that goes into it, water intake, et cetera, et cetera. Do you think that every single day of that program I was motivated? Hell no, I wasn't motivated. There were some days where I was like, why did I do this? You know, like, I worked out enough. I don't really need to do this. There were days where I complained constantly, but I did it, right? Because I committed to it. If I commit to something, I'm doing it. I'm all in. So the momentum for me to keep going to the gym, even when I wasn't motivated, even when I didn't feel like it, came from just me doing it. The momentum wasn't there in the beginning. It wasn't there in that first week of my first 6 months of training to get on stage. There wasn't any momentum until, you know, a few weeks in, a month in, 2 months in. Then the momentum was really going. Then I had trained my mind, because it's all here. I had trained my mind to do things when I didn't want to do them because I had already committed to them. So it didn't matter how I felt that day. The bottom line is I made a commitment, I've got a goal, and the way I'm going to achieve my goal is I've got to stick to the plan. And just by doing that, one step at a time, one day at a time, that created the momentum. So you're not going to have momentum. You're not going to be in the zone until you start doing it. Does that make sense? So if you have a goal right now, if you have a dream, something that you want to achieve, and I would love for you to type it here so I can see and could possibly support you personally on this video right now. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you wherever you are in that process. Here's the challenge that I put forth for you. Is this week, so we're Wednesday, so you only have a couple more days, right, in the week, depending on if the end of the week for you is Friday or Saturday. You have 2 or 3 more days, plus whatever's left in today, wherever you are. I challenge you to commit to one thing, just one thing that will move you closer to that goal or that dream? What is the one thing that you could do? Most of the time, it's the thing you've been avoiding. So what have you been avoiding? What have you been avoiding because you think it's too difficult? And I invite you to think about that in a different way. What if you looked at that thing that seems difficult or challenging, too hard, requires too much effort, and told yourself this truth, that it's only difficult because I haven't done it. It's only difficult because I haven't practiced it. So what would happen if you take the steps towards doing that difficult thing that you've been avoiding? Now, it doesn't have to be, it's something you're going to do this week. For some of you, the difficult thing is just joining the gym, signing up for the membership, or, getting up at 4:30 in the morning so that you have time to do your workout because you need to be to work at 7. So you may be in this story with yourself where it's too difficult, it's not worth it, that's a pain in the ass to get up that early. But that's just a story you're telling yourself. There are plenty of people who get up that early, right? And who, when they first started doing that, it was difficult for them. But once they continue to do it day after day after day, week after week, month after month, right? That's where the momentum gets created. And so now what was once difficult has become easy. And so then it's like you move on to the next thing, right? That's the great thing about taking something that seems like a challenge or was once difficult and just doing it, practicing it. Practice is just repetition. And then eventually that thing is not difficult anymore. That's the beauty of it. It's like just getting started, getting in the habit of it, getting in the practice of it, creating that momentum, creating that new habit. Once you've done that, it's like, okay, check. That's no longer difficult. Think of something that you do now in your life that's really easy, that comes natural, or that is no big deal, that at one point before you started doing it was difficult. For me, that was, going to the gym on a regular basis, 5 or 6 days a week. When I first started working out, that wasn't something that seemed possible for me. It was like, okay, if I can get to 3 days a week, right? And that was like, 12 years ago. Now, of course, that's nothing. My momentum has been rolling. The momentum is like so accelerated that there's really kind of like no way to stop it, right? Because it's rolling. So that's how you create momentum around your goals. That's how you create that energy, that drive. You create it by just taking those first steps and continuing to do it. And then your motivation really comes from perfecting it. My business coach says this all the time, that she believes that you don't get motivation and passion for something until you become really good at it. And I agree with that. I agree that, motivation comes and goes, right? Motivation comes and goes. It's really commitment that keeps us in it. But you become more motivated as you do those things. Okay, so I love that. Your goal is to overcome your sleep pattern, waking up by 7 to go swimming. So I challenge you, commit to something this week, Spanner 78. Commit to something this week between now and Saturday that you can do that will move you towards that. So setting your alarm, getting up, not hitting the snooze button, doing it anyway, even when you don't want to. Okay? So commit to doing something this week that will move you towards your goal. And if there's something you've been resisting because it seems difficult, do that thing. Do that thing. You get to choose. You always get to choose a different choice, right? So that's the one thing that the message that I really want to share with the world, and the reason that I am a coach and that I really love to help people unhook from something that's really holding them stuck in the past, is that It doesn't matter what you did or didn't do in the past. It doesn't matter what you did or didn't do yesterday or who you were yesterday. It doesn't matter where you came from. None of that matters. None of that dictates what's possible for you today and tomorrow. You always have a choice. You always have a choice to do something different. So what can you do different today that you haven't been doing that will get you the result that you want in your life? Because I can guarantee you, you're not going to get the result that you want a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, next month. You're not going to get that result by continuing to do what you're doing if you're not being moved in that direction, right? So maybe you are moving towards your goals and you need to keep going with that momentum, and that's the message to you. Hi, Lynette, thanks for joining. Maybe that's the message to you, is don't lose the momentum, keep it going, right? Do it even when you don't want to because you've made a commitment to it. That's how you succeed. That's how you get to your goal. That's how you get to it. You declare it, you start taking the steps towards it, and by continuing to do it and honor your commitment, even when you start to not have that excitement for it, that's where the momentum is created. Yes, correct. For things to change, you have to change. So this is something that my clients always hear me say ad nauseum, repeat it over and over and over again, is you've got to keep practicing. You've got to keep practicing. And what I mean by that is whatever it is you're working on will get easier. Hi, Irvin. Will get easier the more you practice it. Whether that's just a thought, maybe you're practicing the thought of, that you're good enough. Maybe you're practicing the thought that you're a finisher, you're not a quitter. Maybe it's just changing that thought in your mind. Maybe maybe it's getting up at 7 a.m. instead of 7:20 a.m. Maybe that makes a big deal in your life because it gives you 20 extra minutes to have, time to have coffee with your husband or breakfast with your family, and you're not rushing out the door, and you don't start off your day so stressed out. Whatever it is, you've got to start doing it and practice it, and then you'll build momentum. Does that make sense? You like that affirmation, huh, Lynette? I'm good enough. We all need that affirmation, I'm good enough, right? So, because we all are. And because we're each of us good enough, we're also good enough to achieve our goals. We're good enough to pursue our dreams. There is never any reason why you can't have what you want except the stories that you tell yourself. Okay, so I want to leave you with that and remind you to commit to something over the next 3 days that you can do that will move you closer to your goals. I'm Jessica Perez-Beebe. I hope this helped you. I'm going to add a link up here if anybody wants to chat with me. I offer free how to get what you want in your life strategy calls. So I'll drop the link in the comments and also up at the top here. If there's any way that I can support you, please leave that in the comments and I will reach out to you. I love to connect with all of you, each and every person on the other end. And if there's some way that I can support you, I will do it. That's my mission. For those of you on Instagram, you can find my link in the link tab up in my bio. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend. Facebook, and if you think that this video could help someone, please share it with them or share it on your page. Much love to you all.